what the audience might not know is that the stars have to master the physical game, the mental game, and the emotional game.
How much of it is physical for Michael Phelps, and how much is it mental?
He's such a phenom, it's amazing. I mean, he's got great physical skills, but it's also his mental game that brings him to the top.
Ascending to peak performance takes strength, character, and an understanding how emotions affect the outcome of the game. We're about to go full throttle and supercharge your performance. Get ready to thrive from the inside.
So level 1 question. If I squeeze this orange, what comes out? Orange juice, right? If I squeezed it yesterday, what comes out? Orange juice. If I squeeze it tomorrow, what comes out? Orange juice. If you squeeze it, what comes out? Orange juice. Level 2 question. Why? Why does orange juice come out? Because that is what is inside. Right? Level 3 question. Level 3 question. What have you put inside? If you've put in fear and negativity and doubt, that is what comes out when you get squeezed. Because we all get squeezed in life. That is the human condition. We all get squeezed. But if you put in joy and love and compassion, then when you get squeezed, that's what comes out. And the most successful people, the people who are emotionally tough, they have put in the right juice of life. I'm not just going to give you 3 points and leave today. I'm going to show you what I do with elite athletes, what I do with business people. I'm going to show you how to apply this knowledge so that you can be great when it really counts. When I get you to find your prime emotional state, and I get you into your prime emotional state, you will be a superstar. You know when your first 3 months you're in that relationship and it's a wonderful relationship, and every time you see that person you get tingly in the toes and your heart pitter-patters and you have that song in your heart, and when that person asks you to take them to the airport at 4:30, you say, "Sure, honey, of course. I don't want you to go there all alone, and I want to kiss you goodbye." Let's fast forward that 10 years. Now you're married to that person, and that person asks you to take them to the airport at 4:30, and what do you say? You say, "Are you kidding? I'm sleeping at 4:30. You take a taxi. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it." You know what I'm talking about. Think about this, though. That probably hurts your relationship, having that emotional state, and then you interact that way. But what if you had that 3-month, lovely, wonderful feeling, and you carried it into your 3rd year of marriage, and your 5th year of marriage, and your 10th year of marriage? How wonderful would your relationship be, right? That's hard. We all know that is so hard, but you can do it. You can do it. Think about this. What if you had the principle of that 3-month wonderful feeling, and you carried that everywhere you go in your life? Think about how wonderful your relationships would be, how successful you would be. You would be. That's what successful people do. They have this positive, powerful emotional state, and they interact with people in a positive emotional way because they're in that state. And we all know the people in the other state, that sour state, and that's what hurts them. And I was talking to 8-year-old golfers last summer in Nashville, where I live, and I was talking for 20 minutes about confidence and composure and dealing with the pressure, and they're standing there for 20 minutes just going. And I said, "Is there any questions? Do you have any questions?" And this one 8-year-old in the back room raised his hand, and he goes, and I go, "What is it?" He goes, "Do you know you look just like Will Ferrell?"
Everyone in the group was able to glean some positive insights from this, and that they can make that useful every day on their jobs right now. And I think it was just the right shot in the arm for our group.
Dr. Steinberg was very powerful. The information that he offered was fantastic and well received by everyone.
And you need to look at that buzzword, over and over again, so that when you make greatness your habit, you will return to greatness when it really counts, and you will be great at every turn, not only at work, but in your life. And a great example of this is one of my favorite stories and who I really admire, Muhammad Ali. Long before he was boxing champion of the world, long before he strode up those stairs shaking from Parkinson's to light the Olympic flame, remember that in Atlanta? That was an amazing scene. He grew up very poor in Louisville. His mother could barely afford food, definitely not expensive toys, but the young Muhammad Ali, back then known as Cassius Clay, thank you, saw this blue bike. It was just Schwinn, had this leather seat and the great handlebars and that great emblem. And man, he wanted that bike. So he got a job boxing groceries at a local grocery store, excuse the pun. He finally had enough money for that blue bike, handed the shopkeeper the money. Next day, he rode all over Louisville for 8 hours. He showed off to his friends, his family, that blue bike. Man, he loved that bike. The next day, parked his bike in front of the grocery store when he went to work, made sure the lock was nice and tight. When he came back out, someone had clipped the lock and stolen his bike. And he never found his bike. He never found out who stole his bike. But we all know Muhammad Ali is a true champion. He's totally emotionally tough, and he harnessed that negative energy into a positive force of power. So every time he would step into the ring, he'd point at his opponent and say, "You're the guy who stole my blue bike."
I thought it was really inspiring. I think we all face challenges every day, and it's really helpful to have that buzzword that we can think about when we need to motivate ourselves.
Dorothy, buzzword. Dorothy, don't be shy.
Oh my gosh.
Travel.
I love to travel.
Perspective.
Perspective. Okay, why perspective?
Because when I'm...
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm not Oprah. I don't know what I'm doing. What that experience and these experiences taught me is this. Your soul cries out for meaning and purpose. You must live in purpose. And if you do not, your physiology will find you out. And yes, you can watch endless videos on YouTube about cats with funny hats. You know who I'm talking about. And you can distract yourself by playing golf or other hobbies. And you can deny and placate those negative emotions with substances. But eventually, your physiology will find you out if you do not live in purpose. That's a human truth. That you are the extraordinary project. You are the extraordinary project. And that when you live in purpose, you will hear those sweet notes to your life song. You will release those amazing talents that you have. And you will become the person you always wanted to be. You will become the person you were meant to be. That's not an ancient truth. That's not a modern truth. This is our truth. So I know what you really want to do. So one last time, everybody stand up. Everybody stand up. Point at your neighbor and say, "You're the person who stole my blue bike." Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.